Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Kung Fu Panda 2, featuring the voices of Jack Black, Angelina Jolie, Dustin Hoffman, Gary Oldman, Jackie Chan, Seth Rogen, David Cross, Lucy Liu, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Michelle Yeoh, directed by Jennifer Yu. Now, before I get into this, I remember seeing this in theaters. This and 3, I feel like I'm not going to remember as well as the first one. And because I haven't seen the new 4th film coming up, let's just get straight into this movie and we'll see how much some things come off familiar or not. We open with a narration by Soothsayer, voiced by Michelle Yeoh, about the legend of the peacocks, and one named Shen, voiced by Gary Oldman, who wants to lead China and will lead the world to darkness after killing almost all the pandas. But luckily, there's one who he hasn't killed yet, named Po the Panda, aka the Dragon Warrior, returning voice of Jack Black, as he is doing a bet with his kung fu and his with his kung fu family as he's improved his kung fu since the events of the first movie, as he learns inner peace, which is Master Shifu, returning voice of Dustin Hoffman, was doing at one point in the first movie, as he learns a new trick by mastering inner peace, as it's Poe's next phase of training until it's interrupted by both his stomach and some bandits stealing some medals. And Poe, along with the Furious Five, Tigress, returning voice of Angelina Jolie, Monkey, Jackie Chan, Mantis, Seth Rogen, Viper, Lucy Liu, and Crane, David Cross. And while they fight the bandits and almost win, Poe has a vision of his past before his parents died a long time ago, which is going to be Poe's arc throughout the movie. And it is very sad, but I like how we learn about Poe's past and why he's been having these flashbacks. And I really do like the characters, as they were kind of an improvement of the first film. Poe asks his father, Mr. Ping, returning voice of James Hong from the first movie, aka his dad, about how he was and the duck, and how he was found by him and adopted by Mr. Ping himself and took care of him as a baby. And that was a very cute scene, and the animation has improved in this movie, in my opinion. Master Ox, voiced by Dennis Haysbert, Master Croc, voiced by Jean-Claude Van Damme, trust me, that's his name, as well as the Soothsayer, and Master Rhino, voiced by Victor Garber, are approached by Shen and gets their booties beaten by Shen as the end of Kung Fu is coming, with Master Rhino's death, and Paul with the Furious Five go after Shen, and bring him to justice, as Mr. Ping packs food for Po and his kung fu family for the adventure. And while they're on the adventure, Po gets exhausted, which was funny, and a lot of silly things happen while on the adventure, and Shen is preparing to end kung fu once and for all. Po dreams of his family replacing him with a piece of food and wakes up, and Tigress trains him to learn inner peace. And these scenes are fun but sad at the same time, because of what Paul believes his parents are, as he tells Tigress that Mr. Ping is not really his father. And they arrive to Shen's location, and Soothsayer tells Shen about his future, as he will be killed by a panda, while the wolf boss, whom we met earlier in the movie and voiced by Danny McBride, says to Shen a panda is coming after him, and makes it a priority to kill Po. And this is a villain improvement over Tai Lung from the first movie. And I like these scenes as they're well acted with the actors' voices. Po and the Furious Five go into town, as Po is disguised as a dragon and goes to a sheep and eats one of the wolves, as the dragon costume is they are disguised in, and have a toilet humor. And it goes on while the wolf boss runs away and leads them to the prison where Master Ox and Master Croc are being held, and they try to make them escape, but they don't want to, and admits Kung Fu is dead because of their town will be killed by Shen, and the wolf boss runs away again like a coward he is, and Po and the Furious Five go after him while he leads them to Shen himself, which is a heck of a lot of fun as a chase sequence. Po and the Furious Five surrender to Shen and go to him with some of the same humor as the first film, as it's not as funny as the first time, as this isn't as funny as the first film, as the plot was pretty sad at times based on the flashbacks of when Po was a baby. They get to Shen and Po is exhausted from the stairs and doesn't pay any attention to him, while Soothsayer sees Po is all grown up and she hasn't seen him since he was a baby, and Po learns who killed his parents, who happens to be Shen. And he learns about the tragic way while having a flashback, and Shen got away, and he gets a lot of cannons and blows up Po and the Furious Five, and they get back to the prison area, but luckily they don't die as they escape from the blown up building, as Po and Tigress have a brief fight until Po says something about the murder of his parents, and Tigress hugs him so he can't watch him be killed. And this scene is engaging, but at the same time, it's sad. Po tries to disguise his way to go after Shen while sneaking around, and Shen encounters Po and tells him why he killed his parents, and Shen has a fight with Po until he blows him away with a cannon to only land on the island, briefly knocked out, until Soothsayer wakes him up, and this scene is absolutely tragic. Despite I didn't cry, it's very tragic. At least it felt it. Soothsayer tells Po to fulfill his destiny, and he starts to remember it clear as day as he trains with Inner Peace to let go what happened to him all those years ago, and learns Inner Peace the same way Shifu did in the beginning of the movie. And as a new character, Michelle Yeoh is good as Soothsayer, as Po chooses to be who he is as the Dragon Warrior, and the Furious Five is captured and tries to blow up the Furious Five, and by he, I'm talking about Shen, as well as Kung Fu, as he puts them in the harbor, and Shen blows up the bridge in the town, and Po is alive and will do the cliche of where Po shouts at Shen from a distance, and Shen doesn't hear him, and Po throws his hat to destroy Shen, and Shen points the cannon at Po, and he moves the cannon fires quite a bit, and gets on their ship and fights back with the Furious Five, with Shifu, Master Ox, Croc, and Shen killing the Wolf Boss while he refuses to blow everyone up, but Shen blows everyone up, and their ship is to pieces, and Po uses Inner Peace to control the firing of the cannons, and uses his line, "Skadoosh!" to blow up Shen's ship, and tell him to let go of what happened in the past and choose who they want to be, and have one more fight with Po and Shen as Po beats his booty, and the townspeople cheer for his victory, and Po hugs Tigress as well as everybody else, and comes back to Mr. Ping and his noodles restaurant and to thank his dad and surprise a birthday boy for his birthday, and they cook together, and the movie ends with Po's real dad saying, "My son is alive." And the climax was engaging and very empowering to let go of any pain with you, which is a good message for a family film, in my opinion. Now it's time for my rating. I'll give this movie a 8.1 out of 10. The animation has improved as well as the character arcs from the first movie, and there were times the movie was funny, but not as funny as the first film, and times when the movie was not as funny as the first time, as this sort of wasn't as good as the first film, in my opinion. The plot is not as entertaining as the first film, even though it is still entertaining and a very good film. And the film was sad at times, with the flashbacks to learn about Poe's past, and the actors again do a pretty good job at voicing their characters. I do like returning to these characters, despite this is not as good as the first movie, in my opinion. And this villain is better than Tai Lung from the first film, as we didn't get to know him as much, except for his past. And there are stakes with Shen, as this is a solid recommendation, but at the end of the day, again, this is not as good as the first film. So I would like to thank you guys for joining me, and next time we'll be back with Kung Fu Panda 3. And until then, skadoosh!